Okay, so this is the chart I'm on a 30-minute time frame. This is the GBP USD currency, okay? I love this one. It's a New York session. So, this is basically my journal, my trade journal part 1. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna actually, show what I see. So right now the Bollinger Bands are being used as what I call a wave. You know, it shows the wave. It's like a currency. Like you see how it's moving. It shows exactly like what price action is doing, going up and down and sideways, and it's also showing the true trend. That middle moving average that is yellow, it actually shows, this right here. That actually shows like I use it as I call it a current reading, like knowing what the trend is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I use that to see how price action flows or whatnot. So that's what I be using. I also use, the stochastic oscillator at the bottom to, also show the movements, whether it's oversold or overbought. And then that signal means of when the actual movement is going to take place, like the reversal movement is going to take place, if the trend is going to change or stay the same, if it's going to be in a consolidation moment, or is it going to be an uptrend or a downtrend, or just stay the same, that it was doing. So that's, what I'm getting at, and what I see and stuff. So right now, as you can see, you see this whole bullish type of flow right here, and it became overbought right here at the top. It became overbought right there, and then as you can see, it went back down into the ocean like do, and it just kept going, and it kept going into this trend this way. It kept going into that trend. You know what I'm saying? So and then when it started doing that, I'm like, okay, cool. So let me erase this stuff off real quick. Okay, so as we're going to the right, you see it's like a consolidation right here. Once it went back down, let me see. Once it went back down, you started seeing move like this, like consolidation. It never really went up until right here. It broke back out, and then it went back down. Yeah, it went back down like this. So, and as it does that, I'm like, okay, so I keep watching it. And when it breaks out like that, so this is what happens. So this is, now we're getting to the nitty gritty. So it breaks out, as you can see, it went, up and down in the middle. And then, let me get my brush out. It went like this, and then it said, shoo, it broke out, but then it went back down. So now what I'm seeing is at this stochastic oscillator, it is being little slightly overbought. It's above the orange dotted line, which is like 80, above the 80. So when it does that, I am going to be very patient and wait for these lines. I'm going to wait for these lines right there. Well, hold up. I'm going to wait for them two lines, the blue and the orange. I'm going to wait for those lines to cross back over below the orange dotted lines to take my signal. To actually take my trade. But I also have to make sure I do this on a lower time frame. So I take my actual trade on the 5-minute chart. Boop. And see, you see the 5-minute chart just is about the same. So look, everything was oversold. Overbought at the top, and then look, you see it went up, kind of broke out, and then it went back in. So like you see that right there, and then it's just flowing. It's just like, what? It's just flowing like do 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 do, almost like little bitty M's, So I just watch that and I pay attention, and it's kind of playing with it's kind of playing with it, like, so And you can see it also with the stochasticulator at the bottom, how, things are going. You see how it's went below the green dotted line and now it's coming back up. So, I watch out for all of that. I have to, you know. So one thing I do actually do, the first thing I actually do after I actually see all what the wave is looking like and stuff, I actually go back to the higher time frame, which is 30 minutes. I could go higher and go to, I could go to a whole hour, but I love the 30 minutes. The 1 hour is pretty cool too. You get the overview of what everything's like. You see, same, similar. So in the 30-minute time frame, you kind of actually see uh, this M right here, and I'm waiting for it to finish type. It's already below the 80 on the stochastic oscillator. It's like both of them, and you see it actually was over, like I said, a little tip of overbought right there, and it came back in. So you see two bearish candles, and like I said, it's going back down. So this is what I do. So I'm gonna keep my little M right there. So what I'm gonna do is lock that, so I know what that is. So I go ahead and draw these horizontal lines, support and resistance. So let me move this out the way. So here's most of where the wicks are at right there, like that. I'm gonna do another one. So I'm gonna do another one because at the top right here, this is where it actually went out of the wave, went out of the water, became over a little hint of overbought. So I'll put that right there. I'm gonna go back in time to see where some more was like the low of the day type stuff. Let me exit out of that. So do another horizontal line right here. So this horizontal line right here below this represents support, like the floor, and then the top part represents the resistance, like a ceiling. So you see how price action is going sideways. Oh, look, here's another one. I actually want to put this lower, like right there. Yeah. So it's basically like it's going in and out the zone. So it went that, kind of rolled on the top of that. So what price action is going to do, put that right there too. So. All right. Okay. So what it's actually going to do now is you see me scrolling through the right. You see how that little breakout happened right there, and then boom, formed like a nice little M, a little curvy M and a V almost, and it looked like it's about to form a W right here where the bear candle's at. So low key, what I also see is look like it's an uptrend, so I could draw a trend line if I really wanted to, and draw a trend line right there. So if it breaks that trend line, I could just go, like I could just go bonkers and be like, swing, go all the way down and trade that. Trade that for a good 15 minutes if I want to, or 30 minutes. But this is the breakout wave strat. I call it that because I desire to trade the breakout. So I look for these consolidation moments right here. I look for these consolidation moments, and then I wait for it if it's going to go above my wave or below my wave, and I make sure I see the same thing. My stochastic oscillator, my stochastics, to see if it's going to match that, and then I make sure it's going to match that in the 5-minute area, so that way I know that I'm on the right path with that. You know what I'm saying? So I just have to make sure everything is lined up, and when it's lined up, then I can take the trade. I have to make sure everything, like I said, it's got to be lined up. So. But this is it for part 1, just so I know. This is basically the video of like my homework. I can go back and look at this video and be proud of it. So that's it for today on part 1 of this. Let me see what today is. You see, November 18th, Wednesday. So yeah.